Hi, welcome to Falling Down Garage. See, it's Sunday. On Thursday, I filmed a video where I power washed our retaining wall for a potential mural project the township wants to undergo. And so I got my power washer out and wanted to, obviously power wash the wall. Well, it turned into my doing an imitation of Musty One from up in New Hampshire or wherever he is. He's a pretty cool YouTuber. He likes Volkswagens and small engines, and he fixes anything you put in front of him. And I had to clear out the fuel system. The thing would not start. It had ethanol fuel. I tried getting away with introducing some of that canned fuel, which is $20, $22 a gallon at the big boxes. That's 94 octane and has no ethanol, and that didn't do it. So I was forced to take the carburetor off the power washer, completely drain it. And I, as lucky as would have it, for my Corvair, I have these carburetor cleaner brushes, and I, for the most part, only in one section did I get anything off, but there was varnish and water in the fuel and varnish in the carburetor. So I cleared all that out, put some of that canned fuel back in alone, and got it started up. And then I had the courage to introduce some of the 2-year-old fuel from my plastic fuel jugs, and it never hurt it. So I was able to get the thing running, and then on a Mom Cooks and Gardens video, I power washed the wall. I'll put links between the two videos. So anyways, it's springtime. Your mower, your power tools that run on gasoline, they might have bad gas in them. So if you've never run into that before, I'll show you how I handled getting through mine. So we'll be right back. So what I'm going to start off doing is airing up tires on stuff I use around the property, including that pressure washer. There's some township committee that wants to put a mural on this retaining wall, and people care about this place, the Fishmonger Shack. They've done a lot of work to it, and they said, they asked if they could put a mural on this wall. And well, I'm not the biggest fan of the idea, but if they want to do it and they've planned for it, I'm not going to get in their way. Murals have been wildly successful in parts of the country, like Philadelphia in particular. And while that was never at risk of being tagged or anything, if someone cares about it, wants to beautify it and garden it, who am I to say no? So I have to get the pressure washer running. I tried to crank it off camera. I think it's got some bad gas in it. The gasoline doesn't hold up very well anymore because of the alcohol in it. It goes bad, so I got to get that running. This pressure washer tire's juiced up. I hate pressure washers because I don't use them enough, and I always have this problem. The tires go flat and the gas goes bad. Look great. It's got some yellowishness to it, but I'm gonna see if I can get this thing to run on starter fluid, is what I was trying to say. I was a little thought blocked. There's a reason why you do this step. It's very important, is because if it runs on starter fluid, it runs, and you automatically can eliminate everything but the fuel being the problem. So it's a really good thing to do. You spray some starter fluid in the throttle, in the throat of the carburetor. You pull on it. If it starts, then it's a fuel problem. Plain and simple. I'm gonna let it run out of gas, and I'll put new gas in it. I bet it will start. Yeah. It's the Doesn't like the choke. I'm watching the clips right now as I'm editing the power washer, video. And if you run into what I ran into, I'm showing you how I diagnose it, but just skip all these steps and just not only drain the fuel tank, but get the carb off, get all the fuel out of it, clean it out, and then just put it back together. Don't try to do some intermediary step. You're just wasting time. I could have had this done in a third of the amount of time if I just resolved to just take the carburetor off. So I wasted a lot of time, and I don't want to see you do that, because if you're anything like me, I'm sure you have plenty to do around your house and not enough time to do it. So get the carb off, get all the fuel out. I put it in a I like to save windshield washer fluid jugs for two reasons. They're thick enough to stand up to the bad gas so that the gas doesn't eat the plastic and you have an environmental disaster, so you can, properly dispose of it. Also, it lets you see what really happened, and you'll start to notice that it looks like weird Italian dressing without the seasonings in it. It starts to separate, and down at the bottom, hopefully it's just a little bit, but you're going to see water. And that's ultimately why you had to do this in the first place, because water doesn't want to burn. So dry gas emulsifies it, where it's alcohol, and it blends it all together. And if the water ratio is not out of whack, you can kind of get it through the combustion chamber. But once you've got too much and the gas, ceases to, want to ignite, you're SOL. So anyways, that's your Mortsky pro tip, so to speak. The carburetor from further damage, I covered it up with this. I got to get something to siphon fuel. I always hold on to these heavy jugs, and I had this sitting in the box, so I'm going to try to make a go of this, and if it works, then I'll go up the hill and do it a second time. It's getting nice and warm out, even though it just rained. Battery powered lawnmowers, because I'm just so sick of dealing with this government subsidized, they called it gasohol when Carter was in office. Now they just call it, unleaded, even though it's highly doctored. All right. So there's the arrow. So this goes in the tank, and then this goes in the jug. Let's say a little prayer and hope for the best here. Let's drop it down and hope for the best. There we go. It's starting to work, sort of. Yeah, there we go. All right, I think that's covered. I'm making the assumption that this is good, because I bought this 2 or 3 years ago. I gotta start just pouring everything in the tank at the end of the season and just burning it off. I like having gas on hand in case we have a power outage, though. So you can't win. All right. It felt like it wanted to go, and then it didn't. I have a feeling the carb's gummed up. I'm gonna see if I can feather it with starting fluid and maybe get it to start drawing fuel on its own. I have a feeling it's the carb and it's not gonna work. All right. Little sniff. Yeah, I'm pretty convinced I'm right here. Another distressing thing I see as I'm editing this video is I drained the fuel tank, so I thought, and then I take some of that 94 octane, canned fuel that's, actually a great product. I put it in the tank while there's all this varnish and water probably in the carburetor, and I keep trying to light it off. Don't do it. Just go straight to the carburetor. Just drain everything out of the power washer or lawnmower, whatever it is you're trying to fix, and just accept that. Once you get the reason, what you do is you use the ether, the starting fluid or brake fluid, brake clean, whatever. You put that in to see if you're getting spark and compression. If it fires off, but then it refuses to continue to run because the spray's been burned up and it's trying to grab fuel, and then it won't burn, then you automatically know it's the fuel. So it's a diagnostic technique, but it's also an indicator that you have to deal with the fuel. You can't. There's no skirting around it. So just trust me on that. All right. Oh, you're breaking my heart here. Ah. Like this is gonna do anything. I can smell the varnish. There's still bad gas in it. Oh, I hate everything. It's the carb. Okay, so off camera, I tried to start this thing after letting it sit for a while. I was kind of hoping the newer ethanol-free gas would somehow self-heal it. It didn't, so I have to go into my stash. I think I have a carburetor for this, for actually a slightly larger Honda, but I don't think it'll make that much of a difference. I'm gonna see if I can put that on and then rebuild the one that's on there. I think it's gunked up, long story short, so try to do that. I really want to power wash today. Also, you can use a power washer to sandblast, so there's various reasons why I want this thing back up and running. It was a nice thought while it lasted But this thing doesn't really look the same in my mind. Yeah, apparently mine's a side draft and the other one's a downdraft. This is a side draft, I think, and then that's a downdraft carburetor. So I think I'm SOL in this idea. I'm gonna try taking the carburetor off and seeing if I can clean it out and get it back on. If I can, I can. If I cannot, I'll order one on the net and I'll kick the can on this for a day. Bummer. All right, so I've got this throttle thing to disconnect. This is the kind of stuff I'm horrible at, tedious little detailed stuff, and then being able to remember all of it. It's exactly what I'm bad at. So first things first, I think I'm gonna take this off, this screw here, and then this screw and this screw, and it'll expose this chassis more to the carburetor rather. Not having the right carburetor to replace it with, I'm racing against a storm that's inbound that's pretty big. It was supposed to hit already, I thought. It must be somewhat skirting around us. Let's see here. This is a 10 millimeter. Oh, what did I hit? I hit that. All right. No wonder the tires go flat on this. They're dry rotted. I'm sitting, I don't know. I just bought this thing a couple years ago. It's not that old. I'm gonna regret this. And what is this actually going to accomplish? Is it catching on stuff? Of course it is. Right here. Is there something I can pluck off of here? No. And I'm assuming there's nothing under here holding it on, which is a big reach. Oh. 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 What's this, have emissions equipment on it? Are you kidding me? This is just a... Oh, son of a gun. This isn't a downdraft. It is a side draft carburetor. Huh. Okay. Oh shoot, what was this? A spacer. And then I guess the other one's still in the carburetor. Where did the other one go? It's still in there. Okay. So let me pop that back in before it disappears on me. Okay. And I really, this is rubber and steel. All right, great. Now what? All right, I need to get my needle nose and grab onto that thing. It was to get the fuel line off. Let me squeeze it with the left hand and then work it up, and now I'll pluck it off. Great. Oh, awesome. It's just gonna leak the whole tank out. Sweet. Oh, gravity. Oh, it's burning too. Nice. Yeah. Well, actually, this could be a blessing. could be. I don't feel the blessings currently. As far as blessings go, it's a pretty low level blessing. And I'm stuck here. And I'm missing. Let me try aiming it upward. Let me see if I can stick something in it. Great. A squared off item's not gonna be helpful. Let me see if I can stick it in this breather. That's not tight enough. Is it? Is it? Yeah, actually I think it might be. Sort of. Alright. This sucks. Let me see if I can cheat it and... I'm gonna regret this. I tend to be a major priss about getting gas on my hands. Oh my. I'm gonna just let it gravity feed. Oh, can't do that. I need the carburetor to act as a conduit, sort of, kind of. Fuel filler line inside the tank. So apparently it gets down to a certain level and then it's functionally empty, and that's kind of where we are. But I sort of relish the idea of getting the rest of the fuel out. So can we double team this? All right. Put this in here like we had it before. Put this in here like we had it before. And see if we can do better. There we go. For one shining moment, I had it on the bottom of the tank. So I have some fuel left in the hose. Straighten it out. Let gravity clear the line, and for the most part we're there. Okay. All right, one disaster averted, theoretically. All right. Okay. So let's get this up here and see if we can clean it all out. And there's something I've seen in videos called a Welsh plug, and I have a feeling that's gonna end up being the problem here. So let's see if we can get this all cleared out and get it back on and say a prayer. So before I play around with the this carburetor, I want to drain the fuel out of my wood chipper shredder up on the hill for Mom of Mom Cooks and Gardens. So I'm pretty certain with this there's water in the fuel. Yeah, it's an ADD day on the channel. Oh Jesus, it's over full. That's terrifying. I discovered this thing is over full, which means I guarantee there's probably water in the bottom of the tank. Ay, ay, ay. All right, this goes in the tank where it's invariably gonna push water out of the way, push fuel out of the way. Here we go. There we go. Come on, baby. I'm so mad that I spilled gas up here in our garden of all places. Yuck. Want to see something? There's water in this fuel. See the color line like it's Italian dressing? It was getting through the carb throat. A lot of gas in this tank. Yikes. I might need a second jug. Close to it. It's actually siphoning. Get that fuel out of there. Mom, here's why it wouldn't run. That's the water line. In case you didn't catch it with all the commotion and my head moving, this is the water line. So there was a heck of a lot of bad gas up on the hill there in her garden. All right, so next on the hit parade is I'm gonna start trying to pull these things off and clean them out. I'm not gonna rejet it or anything crazy like that because I lack the knowledge. I know of the process, but actually having me do it, not realistic. If I ever get this thing back on and reconnect it, it'll be a miracle in and of itself. This was supposed to be a video where I took apart the fuel bowls on the carburetor and drained the fuel out. I do show putting it back together, but I had it on photo mode. Sorry for the mistake. It's the least complicated part of the process, though. The bowl has two bolts. One's a drain, one's to hold the thing onto the chassis. It's pretty straightforward. All right, I'm getting to the outer edges of my comfort, but I think if I put a flathead screwdriver in there, I might be able to crank the jet out. I'm gonna try that because that'll be the last area where there's really anything to clean on this. Then if I could just get it back together. The thing wants to run on starting fluid, so I know it runs. I know it's getting spark. I know it has compression. It's just not burning anything combustible inside its gas tank. And I probably pulled some water out of that too. So if I could get any varnish out of here, I think I've got a pretty good shot of power washing today still. Oh, will this work? Nah, I can't believe it. If it does, I'll be shocked. Yeah. I don't trust it. Nah, it feels like it's working now. Hellcat. Smell the varnish. Oh. Well, that was disappointing. Well, it's definitely a source of some kind of yucky stuff. It has a varnishy smell to it. Gotta plug these holes up with my fingers. I feel air coming out of the carb throat, so that's good. Ooh, what's this green crap? All right. Can I see through this thing? Who the heck knows? The WD is water displacement, so I don't think that's accomplishing anything. It's the stupid way to be doing it too. All right, highly scientific as it might be, I'm gonna spray some starter fluid in there and just see what the heck happens. Frankly, I don't know what anything switched. Oh. So it wants to run. It definitely wants to run. So this has always been a fuel and carburetor problem. Figure out off camera, I figured it out. The rust was the clue. So this is the choke mechanism rather. Pretty simple. Now this is the throttle, and this is going to be visible to me like this. And I have two things to connect to it: a spring and something a little more with a hook. And I'll invariably screw that up. So, all right. Put this thing down. It dawned on me I have this thing backwards again. So, better to fix it now. And tighten it. So from now on, every season, I'm going to drain the fuel out of this stuff and then just pour it into this or this, which will not be so finicky about, you know, a little bit of a fuel that's a couple months old. I won't dare put it in anything newer than that with direct injection or whatever. Okay, so we're going to get some courage and try to put this back on. I feel like I got the drain plug wrong again. Let me just get this thing on the choke. All right, let me look at this chassis thingamabobber. Choke. All right, so this is the fuel cutoff, and this is the choke. And where's my drain? I got it, you know what, the drain didn't really matter, did it? Actually, it looks like I still have it in the wrong spot because I could, yeah, I should have it aimed here. Oh well, Rome wasn't built in a day. I almost said, where are my nuts? That wouldn't have been good. All right, this is the EGR thing. These two that match go on these two studs. And then this one goes on the other thing. And you can see that thing's hollowed out. I have the good, the bad, and the ugly song stuck in my head. That's kind of weird. I saw some concert version of it. on YouTube. All right, gotta get this bad boy on. All right. So I'm fighting with this and this. And this and this are on the important side of things. All right, I got that part on. And what? I guess this is like a throttle return spring. I don't know. Choke. Let me try getting this thing on. I caved and I asked for help from my girlfriend. Here she comes. I got it on. Yeah. I was. Pardon? The boy who cried carburetor. The boy who Yeah, well, I own a lot of carburetors. I have a Corvair with two, a F250 with one. I've got a Grumman with one. That's an updraft carburetor that I think, oh dear, I have to identify it just to get a rebuild kit for it. I've got four extra for the car, for the Corvair. Yeah, I got carburetors. All right. I got carburetors and a midlife crisis. Something like that. Too much access to YouTube. Oh, I think I know what that thing's for. No, it can't be. This thing's right in here.
Is there a manual that came with it?
Probably. It might be with the many manuals. I never in my life thought I would be doing this.
What did the old one look like when you took it off?
You asked a very good question, and I obviously am not able to follow. This return spring is not connected to anything. Everything. I cleaned out I got all the old fuel out of it. I found this in the mud. I have no recollection of messing with it.
Yeah, you don't know what anything does and you disconnect it.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't going to run.
This hooks to something.
Yeah, it hooks to the same thing. It hooks to this. No, it hooks to this. I know that's not right. I don't think this is going to keep it from running. I really don't. And I'm not being. So this is the choke. This is the fuel cutoff. And I unfortunately left the fuel on for I haven't run this thing in 2 years, I don't think. All right, so I was mixing up a piece of hardware. It was this that I was looking for. That looks kind of like a 8 fashioned it out of a 0 and then a dash under it. It's probably a letter in a different alphabet. If it's a letter, it could be something Korean. They kind of have some letters that look like that. Where's the on off for this thing? Oh, it's over here. Okay. Oh, can't run with the plug off, buddy. Dummy. All right. In fact, it really wants to run. All right, let's get some courage here. You know, this fuel's not looking so hot either. Now that I'm thinking about it. Hopefully I didn't just cost myself an opportunity here to the runner. I'm putting a 3-year-old race fuel in. The fuel's on. Put the choke half on. she's a runner. Now let's see if I can pressure wash with it. Wah, wah. This is supposed to be, it's supposed to be on there somewhere. This is a massive air leak. That's why it wants to choke. A storm is coming. I'm gonna see if I can get away with kicking the can on this for a day. I'm not proud of it, but I don't really want to stop this train. All right, I had on Thursday or Friday morning, I guess it was, I was uploading the cameras, and one of them had a corrupted file situation, and I didn't really understand, excuse me, what happened in the moment, but I lost some footage of me running the pressure washer out of fuel, you know, to just make sure any residual varnish or, you know, water containing gasoline was you know, went out through the exhaust pipe. But that's what I did. And then you're gonna see me in the next video, you know, I put fuel in it off camera, finally figured out a system of adapters to get the new lines to work with the old lines. I don't like those screw on pressure washer lines. I like the old school, you know, with the ball bearing fittings that just click in. But I cheaped out when I bought this pressure washer. So anyways, we get it all connected, and then you're going to see me fire it up in a second. And then I don't really end the video there because I thought I had ended the video already. So anyways, if you like this kind of content, I hope it helps you if you run into this problem. I'm sure many of you that watch that have gasoline, you know, garden equipment, you know, you'll find that you have bad gas. So hopefully it helps you. Like and subscribe for more. There'll be plenty more content, and you know, just keep watching. There'll be plenty more videos. Thanks.